Alrighty, guys. I may have a problem. I may have gotten a little bit too far into the comic book culture. I just may have done it. So we have a couple holes that I have bought over the last 2 weeks. Well, it's really only two times I went to comic books, or once I actually went to a comic book shop. Everything else I bought online. So we'll start with the pickup from the little comic book shop. I didn't expect the place I went to have comics, but they had them in the back, and I was just going through them, and they were like, they were running a deal like two for or three for $2 or something like that, or whatever it was. So it was super cheap, and I found a couple that I enjoy reading. And then I got one because they gave me another comic book free. So I was looking at this one just for the art, and I've never actually read it, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'll actually open it up and read it, but first one is Junkyard Joe. So I don't know if I've talked about it on stream at all, but I have been a pretty big supporter of this book called Geiger. And in it, they refer to Junkyard Joe. Junkyard Joe is its own series, and I read that because I was reading Geiger, and it's relatively new, I would say, comic book. So they had at the store they had a one issue of Junkyard Joe. So I was like super cool. And a little bit about Junkyard Joe: he's a robot. He starts off as a robot that gets deployed in the Vietnam War, and he helps save this one troop in Vietnam. And then when they come back to the U.S., the main character guy, or I guess I don't know what you say, one of the soldiers, because they no longer see Junkyard Joe. He just goes back to wherever he was from, or whoever created him in the US. The one soldier kind of tells everybody and makes a little comic about this robot Junkyard Joe that he was in the military with, and they go on little adventures. And it's kind of like published in the comic. It's a little bit more kid-friendly version of the story. And everybody, basically, they're told they can't talk about him, or it wasn't real, it's just made up, so on and so forth. But it kind of goes on that journey, and then later on in Geiger, this is in the future. Junkyard Joe is still around because, of course, he's a robot, so he lasts for a very long time. And he gets reintroduced back into that storyline. So very cool. Junkyard Joe, kind of like just a cool like robot story, and he kind of suffers from like PTSD and things. Like, he doesn't work how he was like intended to work. He was intended to just be like a killing machine, obviously, but he ends up getting connected to the people that he was with over in Vietnam, and he exhibits like some real human behaviors, and kind of some PTSD things. So I think that's another reason why I really like Junkyard Joe. Would highly recommend, if you're into any type of like war comics, would highly recommend reading Junkyard Joe. Super cool. The other one I've been reading is East West. Again, I was just at the store, wasn't expecting there to be comics there. Found some comics. Been reading East West. I will say I kind of got to I read the first volume, and then I read the first two volumes. On the third volume, I'm kind of struggling to keep reading it, but this art was pretty cool, and I wasn't expecting there to be a full art version because most of the covers don't look like this. Most of the covers are like half art. Because this one was a little different, I was like, I'm gonna get this one. They had a whole bunch of East West comics. I was kind of shocked to see it because it's not like a mainstream comic. But like I said, I've been enjoying the story. It's kind of coming to a grind, but I do plan on pushing through it at least to finish the volume I'm on, and maybe it will get good at the end again and continue on with the story. And then the third one that I picked up just because it was buy two get one free is this one. I've never read it. It's called Lake of Fire, but it looks like it is like what is that? The Crusades, where you have like the religious group And then there's like some bugs and stuff that he's fighting. So it looks pretty interesting. Might look into this now because I picked this up. I just thought the art was pretty cool. So again, never heard of these artists or writers. Nathan Fairbairn, never heard of him. Matt Smith. Yeah, I don't know exactly anything else about it other than I thought the art was cool. All right, so that does that. Now for the first issues that I bought online. I actually bought this other box first before I bought these, but like I said, I was into Junkyard Joe and into Geiger, so I got 4 comics. They are all from the Geiger universe. So the first Geiger cover, these ones were all add-ons because I really just wanted one cover. Here's the other Geiger cover I want. Geiger is about a guy who is a post-apocalyptic world. He was on some medication or was dealing with cancer, and somehow his body, when the nuclear blast went off, his body absorbed the nuclear radiation, and he became this basically this like kind of superhero, pseudo superhero person. Started off just initially defending the bunker that his family was in, and then the story kind of expands from there. But in that story, you have Junkyard Joe. So this was the main comic book I wanted to buy. This is like a $40 book. It's the first introduction of Junkyard Joe. I like the Junkyard Joe, so I wanted to get this specific cover. And it's a little expensive now, but you know, I thought it was it's a character I really like as Junkyard Joe, and it's Geiger, so it was like kind of a combination of the two. So I was just like, let me order this. It came with these other books. I like Geiger and I like Junkyard Joe. I don't know if I'm going to keep these other ones. Here's another Junkyard Joe cover as well. Obviously, I'm going to keep them for now, but I don't know if these are necessarily going to stay in the collection. I do like this winter one, though. This winter one does look cool for this Junkyard Joe cover. But yeah, that is that. And next, because it's taken me so long to make a video on comics, I have a box. I don't want to show you guys my address or any of that stuff, but I got a box to open here, and it's got more comics, and I probably should have cut it open to start. So let me get this box open, and then we will go through what is in it in a second. All right, we got the box open. As you can see, so this is kind of a review for this company as well. When I first got into comics, I ordered a whole bunch of compendiums. I believe that's the word. Online through a company called Cheap Graphic Novels. I wasn't sure how the company worked. I was used to like Amazon. You buy it, you get it in a couple days. Apparently that's not how this company works. You buy it, they go find it maybe. I don't know. It took them a really long time to ship. I ordered these right when I started getting into comics, and it took them approximately, like, let's say I got it in 3 months, 2.5, 3 months for me to get the package, because I ordered this well before Christmas, and it is now a new year. So let's see how it is packaged. Once you open it up, this is what you're met with. Some packaged stuff. Oh, it's like wrapped. It's like wrapped in here. Holy. Hold up. I might have to put this down. I was not expecting it to be wrapped like that. It's wrapped inside all that packaging, and then it's presented in this type of way. These are not traditional comic books. Hold on, let me get this open. Looks like there's a paper with some stuff in it that might not be good for screening out addresses and whatnot. But let's look at what we got. So tearing into this, this is all 4 of the books I ordered. So all 4 books did show up together. And then let's make a little space here for me to put this down. And I have read one of these. I think 2 of these actually already. So let's start with what I have read and then what I'm excited to read. Cool. And I actually haven't read in this type of format. So as you've seen, I made a review of Black Science. This was one of the first compendiums I read. This shows you how many, it's like over 1,000 pages, but Very, very beautifully drawn. A lot of cool stuff in this. This is really big too. This is this comic book standard size? It looks a little bit bigger. But yeah, compendium, it's just a collection of multiple single issue into one book, Black Science. If you want to see what I thought of this series, go check out the video up there. I think it's somewhere. But yeah, super cool. Got this. Came in pretty good shape, I would imagine. Looks like any other book to me. I started this one. It's called Rumble. I don't know if I finished the first volume or not. Let me see. Yeah. I have read the final issue here where he cuts them in half. So I have finished this. I'm a little bit further than this book. I think maybe I read the first two of Rumble. Another good series. I do have to get back to reading it because I do want to finish it. And then these are two other ones. Jeff Lemire was quickly one of those not artists, the writers that I was attracted to. I liked his style. And I have not read this. This is The Descender. So this looks really cool. I have to read this. I've been meaning to start it. I just haven't started it because I knew I was getting these and I wanted to have the physical copies for the reviews. Unlike when I did the review for Black Science. So now that I have the physical copies, I'm going to start reading these as well. And this is The Ascender. They're like, my understanding is they're not like the same story, but they're similar stories. They're in the same universe type thing. But again, really cool artwork. Really excited to read these two and give you guys a review on those. So if you're interested in seeing my review on either of those series, make sure you subscribe, hit those notification bells so when those come out, you are notified of it. And if I ever continue on with the Rumble series, I'll get a video out for that as well. But this is super exciting. Got a whole bunch of comic books. We just keep growing. This comic book is just the collection's growing and growing and growing, and I'm getting deeper and deeper into the rabbit holes. I have actually stopped reading comics because I got into a really cool book series. If you guys want me to do a review of a book, let me know because this book is actually really good. Well, I'm actually on the second book of this series, but it's called Dungeon Crawler Carl. If you've never read those books, I would recommend it. I've been really enjoying that series so much so it's actually taken my attention away from all these other things I do, like making YouTube videos, reading comics, making music. I still doing those things. Those things will never stop. I'm always doing them. But I love having a distraction. I like getting into stories and something to take my like ADHD away a little bit. And reading comics has definitely done that. There's like so much to look at. The stories are normally compelling. If you guys have been enjoying this video and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, all those great things. And until the next one, love you guys so much. Peace.
Comic Book Corner. Turn the page, explore. Heroes rise while villains scheme. The hero falls, the city screams.